Headliner Nation, MLB The Show is officially here, and I have been grinding it all weekend long. That's right. If you pre-ordered the deluxe edition, you got access to MLB The Show 4 days early. If you're one of the ones that didn't do that, or you haven't pre-ordered it yet, or waiting on it, then you're going to get access to it next week, but that's all right. I'm here to help you out and give you some first look action at the gameplay. We already dropped a video opening up some Diamond Dynasty packs, but listen up. Road to the Show, one of the best options in this game, is different this year. So what I wanted to do is drop some Road to the Show knowledge. Number one, what's the best way to set up Road to the Show? How do you get to the show the quickest? What is the best player setup for RTTS? But not only that, how to navigate through Road to the Show this year, because it's a little bit different, and what it looks like. So Headliner Nation, make sure you do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. If you're new here to Headliner Gaming and checking out this play, hit me up over on Twitch as well, twitch.tv/SwagRichHG. You can find me over live streaming on Twitch. But let's hop into it. Let's talk about how Road to the Show is different this year, the quickest way to get your player to the show, and what you need to do to set up RTTS. All right, here we go, Headliner Nation. MLB The Show, Road to the Show, probably one of the more game-changing options in sports games over the last several years. I remember when MLB The Show came out with the Road to the Show, it was definitely a completely different type of option for those that love sports games. And people who weren't even the biggest baseball fans were buying the game to try Road to the Show. It's going to be another popular option again this year, but it looks a lot different than in years past. In years past, you'd basically go to Road to the Show, create your player, choose what kind of a guy are you going to be. Are you going to be more of a 5-tool guy? Are you going to be a power hitter, contact? Are you going to be a pitcher? What is it that you're going to be? This year, it's a little bit different. You don't start it off in Road to the Show. You actually need to go up here to the top left-hand corner where it lists your information and go in here and change everything in here. This is where things get much, much different. This is where you go in and you select, what kind of a player are you going to be, positions, things of that nature. So, if you go to your loadout here, this is where you can go through and you can add different things that you've earned in, let's say, Diamond Dynasty. So if you're playing Diamond Dynasty a lot and you're open up equipment packs, things that you open up in Diamond Dynasty, you can use with your character in Road to the Show, and it will give your character boost. Not only that, but you're going to pick over here on the left-hand side kind of what type of a player you are going to be. These are also different things that you can get in MLB Diamond Dynasty. You use those things when you open them up in packs. You can use those things here. Slugger, Spark Plug. You see it gives you different types of things. Now, I'm using Slugger because the easiest way to make it to the show and Road to the Show is to be a first baseman and hit for power. If you are good at Road to the Show and you make contact, you're going to get plenty of hits. It's hitting the ball out of the ballpark that becomes the issue, okay? If you're hitting more home runs, you're going to get to the show a lot quicker, because more than likely if you're hitting more home runs, that looks better in your stats. You're driving in more runs, things of that nature. You're going to be right in the middle of the order more than likely. You're going to be able to earn more points, progress your guy a lot quicker. So whenever I'm trying to play Road to the Show and get my guy to the show as quickly as possible, I'm making him a first baseman, and I'm making him a guy who can hit for power. You do that and you're fine. Also, if you play first base, you really don't have to rely on amping up your speed as much. So if you play a position that isn't typically known as a speed position, you're not going to have to spend as much time raising up your speed. Your fielding as well is going to still be important, but it's not going to be nearly as important as other positions either. And then also, if you play first base, you don't spend as much time basically playing that position in Road to the Show. So you can set it up so you play limited fielding opportunities at first base, if you set it up that way, you're really only going to play it when like balls are hit to you. So like if you're an outfielder, you're probably going to have those pop up a lot. If you're an infielder, other positions, they might pop up a lot, especially if you're like trying to turn a double play up the middle and things of that nature. So playing first base is also going to afford you less of those opportunities. So I definitely, when I was in here, I focused on ones that I already had. I had Slugger, Power, and Contact. These two here, definitely ones that I had opened up, and you can view them as well and see like where you pick them up as you go through. So these being earned through here, you get different tasks that you can complete for using that one. So you'll play games in Road to the Show. You go through and you can earn things towards packs and stubs and things of that nature. So it's kind of cool this year how they've kind of integrated all of it together. So again, that's kind of what you have to do to get things set up to begin with. So you have to come in here first, and you have to do all these things to start, and then, do your appearance as well. And then you'll back out, and you'll go to Road to the Show, and you'll start a new one down here. Now, again, it does look a lot different. So let's take a quick look at it. We'll go through it. If you haven't really seen it yet, this is what it's going to look like this year. We're going to use current rosters. And it starts off basically with your agent talking to you right away.
A young prospect shares his expectations with a former coach.
And if you go through some of these options, you can kind of coerce it into a team that you want to play with if you really want to play with the team. So if you don't really care, I just want to play ball for any club, that's fine. There's one team I've heard from for more than a couple times. Not really, but I know what type of a club that I'd like to play for. So if you go with this option here, they're going to say the Indians, no coach. It's actually one of their AL Central rivals. Obviously, I want to be with the Tigers. I want to play for the Detroit Tigers. Boom. Just be ready to give it your best. Right. Okay. Say the right things here. But you're leading them through because when it gets to this point, you're going to see that this is a lot different than what we've seen in years past as well. So it's kind of this cut scene here. I mean, this stuff is cool. I mean, it's all right. But like in years past, I really liked it where it was like you would set up your player and then you would go to like this showcase and you would play games, and the better you did, the more points you got towards your attributes. I liked that a lot better. You don't do that anymore. You basically, boom, you're right into it. It doesn't play out a draft scenario. You don't get to choose, you don't get to choose, do you stay in school for another year or whatever it is, but this is when it will show you who drafts you. There it is. I kind of pushed it towards the Tigers. The Tigers are the ones that call me. And then at that point, that is when we find out, okay, we are playing for the Detroit Tigers. And also, something that is a lot different this year than in years past is that you're a two-way player right away. So you can pitch and hit to start.
Man, I don't think any of us saw this one coming. This definitely feels like
again, one of the, it's kind of talking through it here a little bit. It's got these, these cut scenes are pretty cool. It's not really something that makes it or breaks it for me. If I was like younger playing this game and I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. It makes me feel like I'm actually becoming an MLB player. Yeah, that would make a whole lot of sense. As a 32-year-old, not nearly as much. But it's kind of a new dynamic to the game. I don't mind it at all. You can skip it too. I know I'm talking over it right now, but at least you get a chance to see it if you haven't played yet, if you didn't pre-order it.
This whole debate, is he a hitter, is he a pitcher? What are you going to do with him? There was a lot of confusion. This team isn't confused. This team feels like he's got very good potential as a hitter and as a pitcher.
You're going to pitch and hit to start right away. And then at that point, you can say, yeah, I want to keep being a two-way player. Or you can say, no, I don't want to be a two-way player anymore. Now, remember that when you're setting up your player at the very beginning, when I showed you at the start screen, if you're picking all the hitting options, you're going to be a much better hitter than you are a pitcher. So it kind of depends on what you want to do, right?
With one of his players to discuss a launch plan for the young man's development.
And you can say, I mean, you can start right here. You mean pitching? I'm game. Let's try it. Do I have to? I mean, personally, when I started, the first couple of times I tried it out, I said, yeah, let's give it a shot. Basically, you hit for the first couple of games, and then you got to pitch one game. And then after that, it basically said at that point, you know, this is what we want to do. They're going to say, yeah, we'll keep you. No, we won't. And then you can say, I really don't want to. So I can say, do I have to here? We're not going to force anything on you long term. You know, I'll say, sure thing, skip. Let's keep it going. That's all right. And then this is where you can kind of pick where you want to play. Again, first base is the way to go. Somewhere in the infield, go to first base. First base is going to be your quickest, fastest route to the major leagues, especially with the Tigers, because they don't really have a first baseman in the waiting unless you consider Spencer Torkelson to be that guy. However, they drafted him as a third baseman. So he's going to be a third baseman in the game for right now. And they'll have these cut scenes back and forth as well. I'm going to skip this one. And then it's going to pull you kind of right into this section. Okay, so you're going to have all these options. You've got your settings in here. One thing that I will kind of give you a heads up to begin with, I always do for the difficulty, for the hitting, I always do dynamic. And the reason that I do dynamic is because it makes things, in my opinion, a little bit more lifelike. Because if you get to a higher level and you start to struggle a little bit, it will bring it back down for you. So it's like in real life, for a player, you're going through these times, you're hitting the ball really well, and then boom, you're going to struggle for a little bit. It's the same thing. And as you struggle, all of a sudden the difficulty starts to drop down a little bit, and that gives you an opportunity to catch fire. It will go back up. And then you'll kind of find that balance between, you know, where am I the best at? You know, if I'm doing really well, this is where I am the best at. So I'm always good with the hitting difficulty, leaving it as dynamic. I think that's a lot of fun, and I think it's a little bit more lifelike. And then another thing that you want to do as well, if you are used to the guest pitch option, more than likely when you start off Road to the Show, it's going to be off. So you're going to want to come in and turn on guest pitch right away. I do like the guest pitch. I like it as the classic. Because for me, you know, guessing the pitch beforehand, I think it's a lot of fun to do that. It kind of mimics, again, real life. What are you thinking as a hitter when you're going up to the plate? These are the pitches I've seen you guess. And again, if you're going up guessing and you guess something and you don't get it, then you're a little bit thrown off there trying to figure out. It's kind of the same way as an actual MLB hitter. So make sure that you go change those options right away as well. And let's take a look at a little gameplay action in MLB Road to the Show. All right, in previous years, you've had basically the same thing. You can view the calendar, you can play next. You click play next. It's going to take you through all of these days. Boom. First game of the year. Where you can do this. You can do sim to next appearance, sim this appearance. Obviously, we want to get playing right away, so we're going to play this game. And you can use different loadouts as well. Again, back on that main screen that we talked about to begin with, where you kind of have to set up your player. If you have got different loadouts, you can set up just not your default loadout, but all these different loadouts that you may or may not want, maybe for different situations and things. Then you can go ahead and pick what loadout that you want. For instance, set a loadout for your hitter, set a loadout for your pitcher, and you've got two different things. So that would be one thing that you want to keep in mind as well. We're going to be hitting today. It tells you at the bottom your next game's position, where you're going to be playing. We're going to be playing some first base. So we want to hop right into it. Jacoby Jones all the way down in Double-A. Not sure why, but he is. All right, let's go ahead and skip this. It's baseball. It's the show, and it comes. And then this, I mean, this is basically like what last couple of years have been. So you can play your appearance, you can go to your next appearance, next at bat, next half inning. You can do all of these things. So we're definitely going to play our next appearance here. Next up is Rich. I only have one batting glove on for some reason, which I'm not sure why.
A ball and no strikes. Rodriguez, the runner at first with 2 gone. And that's
I'm going to leave that changeup out there.
And he fouls this one off.
Ooh, we were late on a changeup. That doesn't make much sense, but okay. Ooh, nice pitch. I thought it was going to be low. And then bottom left-hand corner, remember, you can hit sim to next appearance. So when you hit X to basically go through each one, it will take you to the next appearance so you're not watching the entire game. So caught that one on the fly. Here we go. All right, we're back up again.
He went down looking in his last trip to the plate.
Yeah, in today's game, certainly don't get completely reprimanded for too many strikeouts, but no one likes to go down looking. Expect him to be a little bit more aggressive at the dish this AB.
Now he pops him up. This is right.
All right, not a great start. Not a great start to this road to the show. It'll be much better though. It's all right. We got guys on first and second.
Hoping to limit the damage. Here's the pitch. Grounded to first.
And we'll just take it over ourselves. Boop. Got it. That's why playing first base helps out so much too, especially in fielding, because a lot of those fielding opportunities is just going to be you grabbing the ball and running to first base.
He started out the evening 0 for 2 so far. Now the first pitch. Maybe a little jumpy there as he swings through.
What? How are we early? Wow.
Time for them to get back in this game with a couple quality ABs.
I can't believe that. I can't believe that we were that early. That doesn't make any sense, but whatever. It is what it is.
Next up, Rich. He flew out in his last AB. Here's the first pitch. Now a curveball that misses high and away to start him out. It's ball 1.
Looked like he was a little over-aggressive there to throw that nasty curveball. Just needs to slow his delivery down a bit.
Left side, but well foul. Rodriguez.
I feel like things have been a little wonky to begin with the timing. I played an online game too yesterday, and it was awful. It made no sense. It just timing feels a little wonky right now.
There's a breaking ball that couldn't.
All right, 3-1. Come on.
Well, tying run on deck. He should get something really good to hit right here in a 3-1 count. I'd be sitting on a fastball middle in.
3-2 now.
That's all right. Outside. I didn't want that pitch. 3-1. Let's get our pitch.
Fouled away.
I wonder what I hit there.
He's set and
Walked. All right. That's all right.
And that misses ball 4.
Hey, get on base.
First and second now with only
all right.
one
So also another thing too, if you don't, especially as a first baseman, because again, I talked about at the beginning, if you're a first baseman, you don't really need to work on your speed that much or your stealing because you're not going to be asked to do it. All right. So one thing that you can do is when you go into your settings for road to the show options, and you should always do this, player lock base running opportunities. I always put it on action pitches. I want to do a little bit of base running. I do not want to sit on base and just watch somebody hit over and over and over. That I'm not interested in.
Here's the 0-1. The bouncer to the left side. The tag gets one. On to first, it's a double play as their woes continue. The inning is...
All right, so that game's over with. A little bit of the gameplay there to give you, and look, we get play next game as well, which I really, really like. You can just hit play next game and go right into it, so you don't have to keep going back to the clubhouse and things like that. Obviously, not a whole lot of progression in this one. Simulating the remainder of games, it tells you where your next game's position is. It's first base, and again, you can have different loadouts for different things. And again, you can just proceed, and this is what I like about Road to the Show now. It didn't used to be like this. This is something I believe they instituted maybe last year where it just kind of took you through each one. That I like. I like being able to do that. It lets me get through more games quicker. I'm not going back and forth and wasting time, especially with how quick Road to the Show games can be. I can't talk and hit at the same time, apparently. But with how quick Road to the Show games can be, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Coming off a good victory here in front of the home faithful on opening day.
Yeah, Matty, I know it's a long season, but they were able to win the opener, and nothing would be sweeter if you could get in your car today and drive home 2-0.
How am I early on that one when I was so late on a changeup last game?
And they're going to be feeling great about where they're at.
There's a fastball well off the plate for a ball.
We just saw
Guess
a
change-up
fastball
low.
right there. I would not be shocked if he tries to get this guy to go fishing right here and drops a little off-speed.
Oh, nice pitch.
Got him swinging, and that will end the inning. And now in
I'm trying to get it to, and we'll play a little bit through here real quick. And again, trying to record and do this at the same time isn't always the best.
This could be two. He's got it. One there. On to first, and they get the double play.
But I want to get to the hitting too real quick.
Stepping up is Rich. 0 for 1 for him here in this one. That hits the outside corner. It's strike one.
Yeah, he's really working that
The
outside
offense
corner.
better get it going right here because they certainly can tell from their dugout. This guy is carrying himself with a presence out on the mound. He's got feel for all his pitches.
Actually, yeah.
Now
I'm going to say
the 1-1
outside for right
pitch.
now.
Swing and a ball hit well to the right side, but this will get into the crowd. Lifted down the line in left.
Yeah, we're a little bit late on that one. We guessed curveball down low. He gave us that pitch over the middle.
Not in this game. Gotta believe you gotta work the corners a little bit.
Can't believe that changeup out there.
Fastball command is paramount.
We're gonna keep guessing that curveball. I feel like he's gonna go back to it. He hasn't yet. Ooh, started to. Held it back. That's right, 3 and 2.
He tried to do way too much on that 2-2 pitch. You don't have to come into the zone.
There it is.
But a pitch that far outside.
In the gap, baby. That's gonna be a nice double.
This is going to be trouble out there in left center, as it ought to be good for extra bases. And he is in at second base with a one-out double.
A little bit plus there to the speed. There we go. Hey, focusing.
There was his first double-A base hit.
Focusing.
I would imagine he's got to feel
And again, for these base running, just go to the action pitches. Oh! I looked at the camera! That's awesome. That's funny. I look at the camera as they go to pick me off. Who would have thought that they were going to try and pick me off at second base? I'm not even fast.
reined in. And he'll step on first for the out, 3 unassisted. Next to hit, Scott Spindler.
Oh, man. That was awesome. That was funny. That's what I get for taking my eye off the screen.
Ground ball sent back up the middle. Fielded cleanly.
And again, these are, I mean, you play these you know, these little quick cuts in the field real fast, and you get, just for those, you don't even have to do anything, and you get a little bit of a bump in your attribute for pitching, or for fielding.
Hoping that this is the part of the lineup that can get something going.
Yeah, only 1 run on the board so far for them. They just haven't had consistently good at-bats.
Pitcher wants to have a quick inning right here, capitalize on the momentum his batters have.
Good zip on that
My
one
bad.
as he just throws it
I was
by
just
him
off
for
there.
strike one.
I was just
Passive
batsman.
action out in the bullpen as a lefty and a right-hander begin throwing. A ball and 2 strikes now.
I'm off my game. Recording and playing is not a strong suit for me.
Still a ball and 2 strikes.
This guy's been throwing the ball great so far, but he's
Gotta bail
tested
back.
Here.
That's right.
4, 5, and 6 coming up this part of the lineup.
Popped up,
Ah.
and he drops it.
Oh, new life. Make him pay.
1 and 2, here it comes.
What a great battle.
All right, we're going to guess that changeup out and away.
He knows that this pitcher's starting to get up there in pitches. The manager's starting to get restless.
All the way back to
Let's
3 and
see if
2.
he can knock him out and get into that bullpen.
Into the windup, ready with the payoff pitch. Swing and a liner.
Oh,
Moniak patrolling center makes the
I can't
play
believe that
one.
was a line drive right at the center fielder.
Next, it'll be Rich.
Number 15.
First pitch coming, here it is. Boy, not the way he wanted to start out here. It's 0-1.
Whew.
Gotta believe the pitcher's going to trust his defense right here. Look for something down in his zone to induce a ground ball double play.
And a fastball way off target here, and it's even at 1.
All right.
And this ball runs away for ball 2. 2-1.
Let's guess curveball here. Let's see if we get 2-1 curveball. Oh, that changeup right over the middle of the plate, man. 2-2. Let's guess curveball again.
The 2-2 pitch. And a fastball swung on and missed as they set him down for the second time.
I thought he was going to go off speed again.
This one had its moments of drama and excitement.
So again, play next game, confirm advance.
Look on to the next one.
And I think it will let us... Okay, so the current series has ended. It's going to take us back to the clubhouse. And then I'm almost positive it's going to have you pitch now. So if you do choose to kind of go with that two-way option, then you can pitch the next time through.
We hear all the time from people around the game that Double A is.
You're going to hear, I mean, again, one of these cutscenes here. We're going to skip over it. Doesn't really matter. So if you're looking to maximize your potential, obviously, yep, we know that. That's the same in previous years. For this one, this has us at DH, so let's go ahead and sim to our next appearance. This has us pitching now. So we're going to be pitching here. And we'll take a quick look at just kind of what the pitching interface looks like.
Rich, the right-hander out of Indiana, will be doing the pitching in this one. What's your take on him, Dan?
This guy has.
And again, this is, and I use the,
and if he has all of them working,
oops, I hung a changeup right away. First pitch home run.
What a way to lead off a ball game.
Okay, so it's a, but you can, so you can go through and change what type of pitches you have as well. Out in that player area that, you know, we had originally talked about at the very beginning, where you learn more about it. But again, keep in mind, set a different loadout, okay? I don't have a loadout set up for pitching right now, so my fastball is like 83 to 88, which is not going to be very fast. You're not going to get a whole lot of outs. The couple that I've tried out so far, if you're going to be a two-way player, you're probably either going to be a good hitter or you're going to be a good pitcher, but you might not necessarily be both. That's going to be something that you have to work through. You're probably going to get lit up a little bit in your first few starts. Let's bury a slider down and in on him. Let's go fastball high and inside.
Hey, there's not a lot you can do with a slider breaking down and in unless you catch it way out.
Pop up. So
I like the idea of taking it and making the pitcher.
I mean, the pitching interface is pretty much going to be like what it has been in years past, honestly. Not a whole lot's going to be different. I can't get anybody out. I'm hanging a lot of stuff over the plate right now. That's partly to do with it, but so if, you know, that's again at that main screen, set different loadouts. So when you're pitching, you can have better stuff to help you be a better pitcher, and then when you're hitting, you can go back to your other loadout and you can have a different loadout for hitting. Highly encourage you to do that. Get through. Seawolves end up getting the win there. Yeah, you're not going to be, again, you're not going to be a great pitcher if you don't have that loadout. So definitely make sure that you are doing that, setting those different loadouts if you're going to try and do both ways. Personally, for me, I would rather just play one hitter, one pitcher. I wouldn't probably go back and forth and do both of them, but that's part of the fun of it. You know, if that's something that you want to do, absolutely do it. Doesn't really matter. You're going to have fun with it. But that's just kind of a first look at Road to the Show. Not a great performance by your boy. That's all right. I was, you know, really doing it to show you all what it would look like, especially for those of you out there who haven't been able to pre-order the show yet or not going to get a chance to play it for a few more days. You get a chance to see how Road to the Show is a little bit different this year. But remember, if you're going to make it to the show quickest, first base is the route to go. Make yourself a power hitter. You do that, you're going to get to the show very, very quickly. So ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Do me a favor, if you're new here to Headliner Gaming, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Stick around here at Headliner Gaming and check out the rest of the videos that we have dropped or will be dropping. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Stay safe, stay healthy. I'll catch you all in the next episode of Headliner Gaming, everybody.